Imagine you're baking a cake. You have a recipe and all the ingredients. You wouldn't just throw everything together and hope for the best, right? You'd want to make sure you're following the recipe correctly and that the cake tastes delicious in the end. In software testing, we have similar checks and balances. We call them verification and validation. These two processes help us ensure that the software we're developing meets the required standards and functions as intended. Think of verification as checking the recipe and validation as tasting the cake. Verification and validation are crucial stages in the software development lifecycle, particularly in manual testing. They help us deliver high-quality software that meets user needs and expectations. Throughout this essay, we'll delve deeper into these concepts, understand their differences, and explore their significance in manual testing. Verification is like checking your work as you go. It's about ensuring that each step of the development process is correct and meets the specified requirements. Imagine you're building a bookshelf. Verification is like checking that you're using the right size screws, the shelves are level, and you're following the instructions correctly. In software testing, verification involves activities like reviewing design documents, inspecting code, and conducting walkthroughs. For instance, testers might examine the user interface of a new mobile app to ensure it aligns with the design specifications. They might also verify that the code adheres to coding standards and best practices. The primary goal of verification is to catch defects early in the development cycle. By identifying and addressing issues early on, we can save time, effort, and resources in the long run. Validation comes after verification. It's the process of evaluating the software at the end of a development cycle to determine if it meets the user's needs and expectations. If verification is about building the thing right, validation is about building the right thing. Let's go back to our cake analogy. Validation is like tasting the cake after you've baked it. You're checking if it tastes good, if it's baked properly, and if it meets your expectations. In software testing, validation involves activities like functional testing, usability testing, and user acceptance testing. Testers might perform various scenarios to ensure the software functions correctly and meets the user's needs. For example, they might test if a user can successfully create an account, log in, and use all the features of a new social media platform. While verification and validation work hand in hand, they are distinct processes. Verification focuses on the internal consistency and quality of the software. It's about ensuring we're building the product right. On the other hand, validation emphasizes the external perspective, focusing on whether the software meets the user's needs and expectations. It's about ensuring we're building the right product. Think of it this way. Verification is like checking the blueprint of a house, while validation is like walking through the finished house to see if it meets your needs and preferences. Both are essential for a successful construction project. Section 5. Importance of verification in manual testing. Verification plays a crucial role in manual testing by helping us identify and address defects early in the development cycle. This proactive approach saves time and resources in the long run. Remember, it's easier and cheaper to fix a crack in the foundation while the house is still being built than after it's fully constructed. By implementing thorough verification processes, we can ensure that the software is built on a solid foundation. This involves reviewing design documents, inspecting code, and conducting walkthroughs to ensure everything aligns with the specified requirements. Section 6. Importance of validation in manual testing. Validation is equally important in manual testing as it helps us determine if the software meets the user's needs and expectations. It's not enough to build a functional product. It must also be usable, relevant, and valuable to the end user. Through various testing methods like functional testing, usability testing, and user acceptance testing, we can gain valuable insights into the user's perspective. This feedback allows us to fine-tune the software and ensure it meets the intended purpose effectively. Section 7. Consequences of neglecting verification and validation. Neglecting either verification or validation can lead to significant consequences. Skipping verification might result in undetected defects that surface later in the development cycle, leading to costly rework and delays. Imagine building a bridge without verifying the structural integrity of the materials. The consequences could be catastrophic. On the other hand, neglecting validation might result in a functional product that fails to meet user needs or expectations. This could lead to poor user adoption, negative reviews, and ultimately failure in the market. Imagine designing a car without considering the driver's comfort or the need for sufficient storage space. It might function well, but fail to attract buyers. Section 8. Conclusion, verification and validation. A powerful duo. Verification and validation are essential components of manual testing, ensuring the delivery of high-quality software that meets user needs and expectations. While distinct in their approach, these processes work hand in hand to guarantee a robust and successful software product. Think of them as two sides of the same coin, both equally important for a complete picture. By embracing both verification and validation, we can confidently deliver software that not only functions as intended but also resonates with the end users.